Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Ankita Jain from DSPSR New Delhi. Today we are going to talk on module types of incentive systems for paper human resource management. After completing this module, you should be able to understand incentive schemes are also known as payment by results. The three factors which favor the payment of wages incentives to employees are: first, the employees must be rewarded for their additional efforts in the job. Second, the payment of facilities, the earnings of the higher wages as an inducement for additional efforts. Third, it improves productivity and organizational profitability. The fairness of the outcome reward of an incentive scheme determines its ability to win employees' compensation with the scheme. However, the type of scheme is a critical factor in determining the quantum of reward available to the employees. Therefore, an organization must be prudent in choosing the incentive schemes, as the nature of a scheme has a direct bearing on its outcome. However, the organization must invariably ensure that the incentive schemes are classified into three categories. Types of incentive compensation. There are various types of incentive systems which can be divided into three categories described below: individual incentives, group and organization-wide incentives, managerial and executive incentive pay. Individual incentive plan is the oldest form of compensation in which the employee is paid for units produced. Individual incentive plans pay off for individual performance. When individual productivity is measurable, individual incentives are most successful in boosting performance through a fairly direct link between performance and rewards. These include the following: piece rate system, differential rate, standard hourly rate, production bonus systems, commissions, bonuses, awards, merit pay, people-based pay. Piece rate system. The piece rate is the oldest and the most common incentive plan. The earliest approach was called straight piece work. In this approach, a worker was paid per unit of production. It is very common in factories around the world. It is based on paying only for what is actually produced. A simple piece rate approach often results in production variability that can disrupt the flow of product to customers. Piece rate system is easy to understand. It is useful in labor incentive industries. The prerequisites for the implementation of this scheme are: first, the skill level required in production must be similar. Second, production should be expressible in units or numbers. Third, production stoppages for which the employee is not responsible should not be compensated adequately. The formula for computing the earning is: wage earning is equals to number of units produced into the piece rate per unit. Differential rate. Taylor developed the differential rate system as a response to the variation potential in piece rate systems. Taylor's differential rate had two piece rates, one for performing below standard and a higher rate for meeting the or exceeding the standard, thus encouraging workers to at least meet the standard. However, the major limitations of the differential piece rate system are: first, it may be difficult to set accurate and agreeable standard of production. Second, this method may result in the employees cutting corners in their bid to produce faster. Third, it may create tension and rivalry between slow and the fast performance. Fourth, the employees may complain of unfairness in the standard setting when they are not able to achieve it. Standard hourly rates. Standard hourly rates differ from piece rate systems is that the production standard is expressed in time units. Using job analysis, the standard time for given task is established and the organization sets a fairly hourly wage rate. The standard rate for any task is the wage rate times standard. In some standard hourly plans, the rates varies with output. Production bonus systems. Under these systems, an employee is paid an hourly rate plus a bonus when the employee exceeds the standard. The bonus usually equal approximately 50% of labor savings. It is also called time saving bonus. In Japan, all employees receive semi-annual production bonuses in December and June. Commissions. This incentive plan is usually found in sales job. This reward system allows the salesperson to receive a percentage of his gross received. Example, 5% of all sales. About 75% of the salespeople work on a commission paid is typically a percentage of the price of the item. Sometimes a salesman is paid small salary and a commission or bonus when he exceeds the budgeted sales goals. Merits. Commission payments very clear link between pay and worker performance. Commission plans are easy to administer. They justify between there is no subjective elements and rewards are purely a function of performance. Commissions provide sufficient incentives without adding too much to product cost. Because commission can be highly variable over time, some firms protect salespeople from low sales periods by using a dropless commission system. Bonuses. To give bonus is a popular trend in compensation. It is one-time lump sum payment given for meeting a performance goal. Bonuses can be based on objective goal attainment or a subjective rating. In some organizations, all employees share in the bonus awards if organizational goals are met, whereas in others, the size of the bonus is tied to each individual's performance. Bonuses also can be based on individual or group-based measures. Merits. Bonuses involve lower risk to the employer because the employer does not make a permanent financial commitment. Bonus can be offered for a valuable cost-saving suggestion. Thus, it promotes creativity. It does not add permanently to the base wage and can be given based on either rated or non-rated output measures. It helps the employer control cost and improve employee satisfaction. Because bonuses arrive in one lump sum, they may feel to the employees like more money than a comparable size raise. It is based partly on organizational performance. On the other hand, if bonuses cannot be paid, it tends to hurt morale. Awards. Awards like bonuses are on-time rewards but tend to be given in the form of a tangible prize, such a paid vacation, a television set, or a dinner for two at a fancy restaurant. Merit pay. The most widely used for managing individual performance is merit pay. It consists of an increase in base pay normally given once a year. Supervisors' rating of employees' performance are typically used to determine the amount of merit pay granted. Once a merit pay increase is given to an employee, it remains a part of the employee's base salary for the rest of his future with the firm, except under extreme conditions such as general wage cut or a demotion. Merit pay is based on the rated performance in a previous time period or a reward-based performance on how well an employee has done his job. In practice, merit pay system fail to reward superior performance because of following problems. First, employees fails to make the connection between pay and performance. Second, the secrecy of the reward is perceived by other employees as inequality. Third, the size of the merit pay has little effect on performance. Fourth, merit pay is not always viewed as meaningful. It depends on the reward to produce an effect rather than planning and designing the effect at the outset. Merit pay is always based on supervisor's subjective evaluation. So employees may perceive a weak line between performance and pay. Merit increases are usually awarded annually, so they do not immediately follow the specific instances of good performance that the organization wishes to enforce. For the merit pay to work and become successful, the following requirements are needed. First, a job should be well designed and the performance criteria are both well delineated and accessible. Second, there should be high level of trust in management. Third, there should be correct evaluation system and wage structure. Fourth, there should be job-specific and result-based criteria to reduce subjective bias. Fifth, there should be accurate performance appraisals. Sixth, the time should be minimized between the performance appraisal and pay increase to maximize reinforcement principle. Seventh, managers should be trained in correct use of compensation system. Eighth, there should be proper feedback during performance appraisal session to ensure that employees are aware of expected performance. People-based pay. Compensation designs are changing to meet the environmental challenges of the 21st century. In place of bureaucratic job-based approach, new designs are people-based. There are several different variants of people-based pay. These are discussed below. First, skill-based pay. This method sets pay levels on the basis of how many skills employees have or how many jobs they can do. It is a reward system that pays employees on the basis of work-related skills they possess rather than associating rewards with performance level or seniority. Under the skill-based system, no one gets a raise even when promoted until he has demonstrated proficiency with new skills. It is associated with work teams or self-managed work groups. Merits: first, it has increased flexibility because workers know more than one each job they can more to provide expertise when and where needed. Second, tying pay increases to skill acquisition creates an incentive for learning, self-improvement, and performance. Third, it is a creative approach to compensation. Fourth, it seeks employees' involvement through total quality, continuous improvement, and similar initiatives. Fifth, it assumes that employees want to grow and improve their job skills. Sixth, it can be used to replace annual raises. Demerits: first, it is difficult to design. Second, it does not fit all situations. Third, it involves a time-consuming process of constructing skill blocks, mapping pay progressions, and assigning monetary values to each skills. Skill-based pay can be successful only if the organization has a commitment to employee training and development and has something to gain from increased flexibility. Second, knowledge-based pay. This approach rewards employees for acquiring additional knowledge both within the current job category and in new job categories. Third, credential-based pay. This reward system rests on the fact the individual must have a diploma or license or must pass one or more examinations from a third-party professional or regulatory agency. Credential-based pay is much more cut and dried than skill-based or knowledge-based pay. Fourth, feedback pay. This reward approach is based on aligning pay with strategic business objectives and then establishing a direct connection between the job holder and his path in accomplishing these goals. This design must conform to four principles. First, it flows directly from the organization's strategic business goals. Second, it directly links employees' actions to these goals. Third, it provides sufficient opportunities for rewards to hold employees' attention. And fourth, it is timely. This method replaces job descriptions with mission statement as a means of directing employees. Fifth, competency-based pay. It is actually a combination of skill-based pay, knowledge-based pay, and credential-based pay. It is often applied to highly educated knowledge workers. In addition to skills, knowledge, and credentials, competency-based pay includes cognitive or subjective measures not usually considered in evaluating a job. Advantages of individual incentive plans. First, performance that is rewarded is likely to be repeated. Second, individuals are goal-oriented and financial incentives can shape an individual's goals over time. Third, assessing the performance of each employee individually helps the firm achieve individual equity. Fourth, individual-based plans fit in with an individualistic culture. Fifth, they are widespread in practice. Disadvantages of individual incentive plans. First, these create dysfunctional competition and destroy cooperation among peers. Second, so relationship between subordinates and supervisors are created. Third, individual pay plans may work against achieving quality goals. Fourth, many employees do not believe that pay and performance are linked. And fifth, because many managers believe that below average raises are demoralizing to employees and discourage better performance, they tend to equalize the percentage increase among employees regardless of individual performance. This, of course, defeats the very purpose of an incentive plan. Sixth, individuals create inflated perception of their own work while deflating the work of others. Seventh, workers are encouraged to cut corners. This will affect quality and safety. Conditions under which individual incentive plans are most likely to succeed. Individual incentive work best first where clear performance objectives can be set and where tasks are independent. Second, when the contribution of individual employees can be accurately isolated. Third, when the job demands autonomy. Fourth, when cooperation is less critical to successful performance. Fifth, when competition is to be encouraged. Sixth, when the supervisor reinforces and supports the system. Seventh, when quality of work is not specially important. Eighth, when most delays in work are under the employee's control. Group and organization-wide incentives. These incentives are shared by all members of the organization. In group incentives, two or more employees can be paid for their combined performance. Group incentives make the most sense where employees' tasks are interdependent and thus require cooperation. The goal of organization-wide incentives is to direct the efforts of all employees towards achieving overall organizational effectiveness. Some major types of group-based and organization-wide incentives are: first, profit sharing; second, gain sharing; third, employee stock option plan; and fourth, suggestion system. Profit sharing. Profit sharing has received a considerable boost in recent years. Many companies adopting profit sharing plan as a means of promoting greater productivity to meet world competition. Profit sharing seeks to promote a culture of ownership. It develops a sense of belongingness, cooperation, and teamwork among all employees. Edwin Flippo writes, employee profit sharing plan constitute one of the more glamorous forms of monetary compensation used in business. Profit sharing is a method of industrial remuneration under which an employer undertakes to pay his employees a share in the annual net profits of the enterprise. This share is in addition to regular wages. It is paid on the compliance with certain service conditions and qualifications. Objectives: first, to increase productivity; second, to effect an increase in productive efficiency through reducing cost and increasing output; third, to improve employee morale and to reduce the labor management strife; fourth, to provide for employee security in the event of death, retirement, or disability. Fifth, to constitute a mechanism of employee economic education. Sixth, to reduce turnover. Seventh, to improve public relations. Eighth, to maintain peace and harmony between labor and employer. Ninth, to recognize their right for sharing the prosperity of the concern. 10th, to create congenial atmosphere inside the organization in which workers feel as partners rather than employers, to supplement workers' earnings. 12th, to increase the interdependence of labor, management, capital. Employee earnings would adjust quickly to changes in business conditions. 13th, to increase awareness and interest in performance of the organization. 14th, to encourage long-term commitment and loyalty of the company. And 15th, to attract and retain employees. Types of profit sharing plans. First, cash payment plan. Under this plan, benefits are distributed among participants in cash at least once each year. This is the most popular. The firm simply distributes a percentage of profit, usually 15% to 20%, as profit shares to employees at regular intervals. Second, deferred payment plan. Under this plan, the employee's share of profits is held in trust for him to be paid either in installments or as retirement benefits. If the employee is dismissed, the investment amount reverts to him, and in event of his death, it is paid to his right department. Third, combination payment plan. It is a combination of the cash and deferred payment plans. It enables the employee to get some immediate benefits and also to put away something for the future. Gain sharing is becoming a popular approach to motivate higher levels of group productivity. Gain sharing plans generally are based on the assumption that better cooperation among workers and between workers and managers will result in greater effectiveness. Gain sharing is a type of group incentive in which a portion of the gains the organization realizes from group effort is shared with the group. Many organizations are seeking productivity and quality improvement through gain sharing plans. It is a plant-wide pay-for-performance program in which a portion of company's cost saving is returned to workers, usually in the form of a lump sum bonus. Many companies use employee stock option plans to compensate, retain, and attract employees. These plans are contracts between a company and its employees that gives employees the right to buy a specific number of the company's shares at a fixed price within a certain period of time. Employee stock option plans should not be confused with the team ESOPs, that is ESOPs or employee stock ownership plans, which are retirement plans. An employee stock ownership plan (ESOP) is a retirement plan in which a company contributes its stock to the plan for the benefit of company's employees. Under an employee stock ownership plan (ESOP), employees receive stock in the company. An ESOP is a qualified defined contribution plans in that the employer makes yearly contributions that accumulate to produce a benefit that is not defined in advance. Technically, an ESOP is a kind of stock bonus plan or a combination of a stock bonus plan and a money purchase pension plan. A suggestion system is a formal method of obtaining employees' advice about improvements in organizational effectiveness. It includes some kind of reward based on the successful application of the idea. The key to successful suggestion system is employees' involvement. Implementation of these programs have proved quite cost effective. Suggestion systems can improve employee relations, foster high quality products, reduce cost, and increase revenue. In Japan, suggestion systems are one of the main practical forms of worker participation schemes. The above figure shows how employees benefit from a stock option scheme. Managerial and executive incentive pay. These are: first, executive bonus plan; second, long-term incentives; third, prerequisites; and fourth, golden parachute. So students, now let's summarize what we have learned in this module. Individual initiative plans includes Halsey, Rowan, Emerson, Budox, Taylor, Merrick, and Gantt plans. Priestman, Toney, and Scanlon plans are group incentive schemes. Profit sharing helps to improve morale and productivity of employees as well as workers' income and living standard. It does not have motivational value. Thank you.